Hi there, Don Moody here from handymanreality.com of Edmonton, Alberta. Today I want to talk with you a little bit about how I manage bed bugs, how I manage actually bed bug prevention. I'll give you an idea of my kit here, and what you'll see in my kit is this one here is called DE Earth. It's actually a food grade earth, essentially a dirt or a dust. And I have two different ways that I apply it, sort of thing. At one time I had bought this applicator, but I tend to have problems with the batteries. So what I ended up doing a lot of times was pulling out just sort of like an old oil bottle, old style oil bottle made out of plastic, and I just dust this under here until I get a nice dusting. And in this particular situation, I'm actually going to do the baseboards, sort of thing. So we're going to take this opportunity to dust behind the baseboards using, oh, please do not ask me to pronounce the name of that earth. It's one of those complicated ones. But suffice to say that what I'm going to do is, under all of the baseboards, in that crack right in there, I am going to dust. And what this dust does, and you want a nice consistent bit of it, what this dust does is when the bed bug gets in there, it gets on its body and it dehydrates it, is what it does, and it kills it by dehydration. I only know two ways to kill off bed bugs. One is by heat and the other one's by dehydration. So our prevention program uses hugely dehydration and sealing. So we'll put this behind the baseboards, we'll install the baseboards, then we will take, and in this case we will use a clear caulking, that we will caulk the bottom of the baseboard so that we seal it right to the floor. The top of the baseboard will get caulked with another type of a paintable caulking. This one's paintable and is called caulking. This one is called silicone. This is what you use in bathrooms and kitchens, anywhere that paint doesn't where you will never paint, because paint won't stick to silicone, and if anything it comes off really easy, so it really messes up your paint job. So between, say, tile and a wall, you want to use this. Between, say, tile and a countertop, you want to use this. That sort of makes sense? So these are the things. I'm going to use this in the bathroom to seal the baseboards to the floor, because I want something in there. It's going to be a lot less paintable. And everywhere else we're going to use just caulking. And of course we have after I do my baseboards, I have a white that goes along the top. So after my baseboards are installed, then I'm going around and I'm going to check every outlet to ensure that it has a draft stop. This is just a simple, I think 3M makes them or somebody like that. And it's for stopping drafts, and it's for around outlets. So I'm going to dust in the box in here until, I get the dust coming out, just like that. Then I'm going to reinstall the trim plate. So now this is multifamily, so we seal the walls between units. And because it's multifamily, I have to seal them with something that's fireproof. So something like this will get used in, say, I've got a spot in the bathroom here where there's a hole right through. So this space, this cavity, so to speak, is going to get filled and sealed with fire block grate stuff. Other place it's going to go is around each one of the valves under the plate. These ones have already been done. So every hole between places gets sealed with this. I'll give you an easy spot to spot it under our kitchen sink. Being that this unit, we just did the flooring, so we're redoing everything. Now, you see this foam here? That is the big gap filler type of a foam. And this one in particular is a fire stop. Because we want to protect each unit from the other units. So we treat dust behind the baseboards, and afterwards, if need be, we put it in front of the baseboards. This is food grade, so I can put it anywhere and everywhere. I could dust the whole place while it's empty to let the bugs kill themselves off. There's no blood in here for them to get to, so they would want to travel. Now, the last place I deal with, sort of thing, is after I've caulked and sealed all of the baseboards on the trim, I've caulked and sealed and dusted the electrical outlets between units. There's one last little trick I like to use, and that is right here at the doorway. What I will be doing is taking a double-sided tape and putting a double-sided tape strip right along here. Now, of course, it's not going to last forever. Merely needs to last long enough to ensure that any bugs that might want to travel from any other unit would get stuck on the tape. Now, the very last thing we would talk about is there's a dish or a bowl like this that actually is for the legs on a bed, legs on a couch, things like that. Now, when you put the leg of a bed in here, what happens is if you ever look down and you find a bug in there, you know that the bed bugs came from the upholstery or the mattress. If you find the bug inside of this side, you know that the bed bug came from the building. So then you know you got a bad spot, you've got a bad suite, and you're going to need to either heat treat it, which is the quick way, but it's pretty intensive. Put it this way. This building was done 20 years ago, this particular suite. That's one of the reasons why we're redoing it. Look what it did to the closets, because there's a plastic front on here. It was so hot in here, the heat was cranked up so high, and again, this was 20 years ago, that it did that to the closets. Pardon me, that. So, to recap, we use this DE food grade earth. I'll put the actual word for it in the description of this video, just because I can't pronounce it. You could buy this kit from these people. This kit comes with an actual tool that bada bing bada boom, with a battery in it, does your dusting for you. And then you can, actually that would be sideways or upside down, and then you would dust your way along here. I have to replace this battery before I do this suite. pisses me off because it's an old NiCad battery. So, recapping. I'm always tempted to try to pronounce that word. This DE earth, which is a food grade earth, is put behind the baseboards, is put inside of all of the electrical boxes. Everything is then sealed up. If need be, it's put on the outside as well, because it's a food grade dust sort of thing. All cavities between units are sealed, or between rooms are sealed with great stuff, expandable foam. If you're in, say, a house, you want to do a house, and it's not multifamily, you could just use the door and window of this stuff. And that way it won't get you into too much trouble with its expansion. Once you've sealed the unit and you've put a strip of double-sided tape at the entranceway, then from there on, once the place is furnished, this goes under the furniture legs, and that gives you an indication of whether or not you've had bed bugs, or whether or not, pardon me, you get bed bugs and where they came from. Hopefully that made sense. This has been Don Moody of HandymanReality.com of Edmonton, Alberta, and you have a great day now.